The family and friends of Cassandra Cake are marking a sad anniversary, and they want answers from members of Parliament in the region. It was a year ago that Cake was found dead in a burning house in Windsor. Police believe she was killed before the fire was set, and a man from LaSalle has been charged with first-degree murder. Cassandra Cake was 7 months pregnant at the time she died, and friends and family have been pushing for additional charges to be allowed in a case like this one, so the unborn baby's life is also taken into account. They formed a group called Molly Matters. Molly was the name Cassandra had chosen for her daughter. Jeff Durham was that unborn baby's father. He joins me in the studio. Good morning.
Hi there.
You and other family and friends are remembering Cassandra today. How difficult has the past year been, losing her and also a baby who would be, well, had she been born 10 months old?
Really, it's difficult beyond comprehension. It's hard to even explain that.
You formed this group called Molly Matters, and you've been gathering names on a petition. What do you want? What are you calling for?
Well, ultimately, we're calling for a law that would make it a crime to harm an unborn baby in an act of violence against that baby's mother.
Tell me how that petition effort has been going.
It's been going good for the most part. There's a lot of support. People recognize this injustice. It's blatant and easy to see. But on the other end, there are those that think this is a pro-life initiative and confuse it with that and are reluctant to support such a cause.
I'm glad you brought that up because some people argue that allowing charges for the death of an unborn baby will reopen the abortion debate. How do you respond to that?
Well, it seems pretty simple to me. There's a difference between abortion and homicide. Those are two words that we could clearly define, and they're both separate and distinct. Essentially, I guess the question is how can somebody capable of a crime against a woman, like in this case, have access to what are supposed to be rights for women, for only women? How is that? I think it's there's some blurred lines, and there's hesitation to confront this issue, but it's here and it has to be discussed, and there needs to be a resolution because what is being done now is inadequate to I think women's rights and the community and us and the family.
In marking the 1-year anniversary of Cassandra's death, you plan to do something with the petitions today. Is that correct?
Yes. We are going to go to the members of Parliament's offices this morning, and we're going to deliver each of the three of our local MPs a certain amount of signatures that want to, from the community, that want to have this law created.
How many signatures do you have?
In total, there's the paper petition, and then there's the online petition. The paper one is it's from Ottawa. Cassie's friend Michelle Lemire created it in Ottawa and had it approved and whatnot. And the online one is more of like a public awareness. And in total, we probably have close to 15,000.
Now, you say you're going to be dropping copies or at least parts of this petition off to our three local members of Parliament. Have you had contact with politicians to this point on this issue?
I have. Not our local members. No more than their response to the questions of the media. I have not had personal contact with them in spite of I made a request a couple weeks ago to meet with Brian Massey, and I'm yet to get a reply. I'm still waiting for something in that regard. But I've spoken to several Jeff Watson, who is no longer represents Essex, but who stood for Molly Matters, and I also spoke to an MP in BC named Mark Warwa.
Why an MP in British Columbia?
Well, it seems as though that so far the only proclaimed support has come from members of the Conservative Party. Which is unfortunate because I think this is something that needs attention from all three major parties, all parties, and it's unfortunate that there's only really one that are willing to take up a cause and to look at this injustice and not just ignore it.
Okay, so you'll be reaching out again to Brian Massey, also to Cheryl Hardcastle, also to Tracy Ramsey. What do you want to hear from them?
Well, I want to hear that they support a law that would make it a crime for a violent criminal to harm an unborn baby when they're doing something to the mother. It's ridiculous that it's insanity that something as simple as that cannot be made a law. Molly was my daughter. In this situation, there's no restorative justice allowed for the family. The rights of the criminal, the person responsible for doing this, seem to be more considered than the rights of the family and the acknowledgement of the reality of the situation. And I want answers.
A man from LaSalle, a man named Matthew Brush, is facing several charges, including first-degree murder in Cassandra's death. Do those charges provide you any satisfaction?
No. I mean, half justice is no justice. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to make people understand that, but it's almost insulting. There's an entire reality that's being overlooked here in the charges, and we want to change that.
I know this isn't easy for you. Do appreciate you coming in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeff Durham and other family and friends of Cassandra Cake are marking 1 year since she was found dead after a fire in a Windsor home. She was 7 months pregnant at the time. A LaSalle man, Matthew Brush, faces a slew of charges, including first-degree murder. Today, Durham and Cassandra Cake's mother, Nancy Cake, are presenting petitions to the 3 MPs in Windsor and Essex County calling for justice for the unborn baby. Their campaign is called Molly Matters.